Imagine being summoned by the most powerful man in the empire, not to dine, not to speak, but to lie silently beside him under silk covers you didn't choose, in a room where shadows listen, and guards count the minutes behind a screen. You've been chosen tonight, not for love, but for legacy. And you dare not refuse. No one told you that the emperor's bed was colder than marble. In the Forbidden City, the emperor's bedroom was never his alone. Every moment was orchestrated. Every breath supervised. Behind the lacquered doors and golden screens, there was no privacy, only ritual. No affection, only obligation. And for the women of the Imperial Harem, one mistake could mean exile or worse. Tonight, we peel back the silk veils and step into a world few dare to question, where bedroom rules were written in ink, blood, and silence. Inside ancient China's walled palaces, the emperor was considered the son of heaven, divine, untouchable, eternal. But his bedchamber was a paradox, both sacred and vulnerable. Because one wrong encounter, one hidden blade, or one pregnancy from the wrong woman could shake the entire dynasty. To prevent scandal or rebellion, the bedroom became the most controlled chamber in the empire. The Imperial Harem wasn't just a collection of women, it was a hierarchy of political pawns. Consorts, concubines, and empresses were ranked, monitored, and rotated like chess pieces. Every night, one woman was selected, not by the emperor alone, but through a system of suggestion, manipulation, and surveillance. Power did not sleep in the Forbidden City, and neither did those watching. The process began with a tray, lacquered black, lined with red silk, carried by the chief eunuch. Upon it, a set of ivory tiles, each engraved with the name of a woman in the harem. These weren't shuffled randomly. Behind the scenes, powerful eunuchs and court officials quietly arranged which names appeared at the top, which were buried beneath. Some were subtly angled. Others stained with perfume to catch attention. The emperor's choice seemed spontaneous. It never was. Once a name was flipped, messengers hurried through silent corridors. The chosen woman was informed, not with words, but with a discreet knock and a red ribbon handed through the door. From that moment, the ritual began. She bathed in water steeped with chrysanthemum petals, camellia oil, and powdered pearl, believed to cleanse not just the body but the soul. Her nails were trimmed, her skin powdered with rice dust, and her hair oiled and combed into strict patterns. No jewelry was allowed. No perfumes. Nothing that could conceal poison. Before she left her chambers, a eunuch performed an inspection. Even the soles of her feet were checked. Then she was wrapped in a single embroidered robe and laid onto a silk-covered stretcher. 2 eunuchs lifted her, not to pamper but to control. The practice ensured she couldn't hide weapons in her shoes or deviate from the path. She was carried through moonlit corridors, where shadows stretched long and whispers were forbidden. At the entrance of the emperor's room, she was inspected again, this time by imperial guards. Her presence had to be recorded, her condition documented. Inside the chamber, she was placed at the foot of the imperial bed. She could not speak unless spoken to. She could not touch unless invited. The room was silent, save for the ticking water clock outside the door. Time was always measured. Each encounter lasted no longer than 1 hour. Outside, eunuchs listened for signs of movement. When the final candle burned low, they tapped gently. If there was no response, they had orders to enter, silently, and ensure the emperor was safe. Every step of the process was logged. Time of arrival, duration of stay, physical state upon return. And still risk lingered. The emperor's lineage had to be protected at all costs. No woman menstruating was allowed to be selected, not for reasons of comfort but superstition. Blood was seen as spiritually polluting. But there were no calendars. So the women developed discreet codes. Some tied crimson threads to their wrists. Others placed red lanterns outside their doors. A few, desperate to remain eligible, concealed their condition. The consequences were severe. That's why eunuchs were ordered to track every woman's health, even mapping menstrual cycles. Personal privacy did not exist. Even their bodies were imperial records. Rivalries brewed under painted smiles. If one woman gained favor too often, others whispered. Spilled tea. Misplaced perfume. Accusations of witchcraft. A favored concubine was both admired and marked for destruction. One story, still whispered in Chinese folklore, tells of concubine Mei. She rose quickly, too quickly. The emperor requested her 3 times in a single week, breaking the silent rule of rotation. Her beauty was said to calm his nightmares. Her voice, the only one he permitted during those nights. The harem grew restless. Other women began feigning illness or hiding messages beneath their robes. One morning, concubine May's water was laced with crushed wolfsbane. She survived, but only barely. That same night, she vanished. The court claimed she had been sent to a distant temple. Her chamber was sealed. Her name erased from records. But one eunuch later confessed. He had seen her robe tossed in the palace well. Favor, it seemed, was as dangerous as exile. The imperial bedroom was never a place of desire. It was a battlefield, fought in whispers, robes, and silence. Where a single glance could shift alliances. Where a single hour could birth an heir, or a scandal. To outsiders, the forbidden city shimmered with silk and gold. But inside, the women lived like ghosts, touched only by protocol, remembered only in silence. Today, the rules of the Imperial Harem may be lost in time, but the lessons remain. Where power is absolute, intimacy becomes performance. And where desire is political, even love becomes dangerous.